something weird occurred to me. In the game, they were talking about mercenaries like they were like a good thing or like an institution, right? And I'm like, that reminds me of something. That reminds me of a rant I did way back when during the anime law days about Berserk, shitting on the concept of the mercenary in Berserk and how it's not really historically accurate. They shouldn't be called mercs, right? And people defended it, and that was beside the point. The idea was that, okay, it seems like Japan has a thing with mercs, mercenaries, and they sort of like the idea. And so I started dissecting this. Why does the Japanese have such a high opinion of the mercenary? So I broke this down.
Robin Hood syndrome, I think. They like it so much.
I'll do you one better, right? Mm-hmm. First things first, they don't know what a mercenary means in to England or to France or to Germany, right? Because mercenaries in Europe basically were forces that you use to augment your own levy. So you raise your levy. If you don't have enough, you bring some mercs in, and the price of the merc is the money you give him and the looting and the pillaging they do. So mercenaries were not good people, and people knew that. And always like, you're using mercs, you piece of shit. I use knights like a real man, that type of thing. Right?
Gatekeeping war.
But the Japanese, what were their mercs if you think about it?
Samurais.
The samurais were used for hire to protect the common people, and eventually they became a noble class. So their noblest class came out of mercenaries. And their entire idea of the knight and the Bushido code and all that all came from the idea of mercenary. So in their head, a mercenary is actually a good thing that does good stuff. And they kind of subconsciously adopted that to the name mercenary whenever they're trying to adopt the Western role or the Western fantasy style. Because you only see that in Japanese games where the mercenary is celebrated. So, curious, what do you guys think of this?
Mercenaries are so... I'm gonna talk here as a, some kind of expert in Islamic studies. And right. I tell you, being a merc is so... I don't know what's the professional word here, but...
Frowned upon?
Frowned upon, yes. I'm looking for this. In Islam, there is a whole verse in the Quran stating the punishment of mercenary. And the punishment goes as follows. There are 3 tiers for the mercenary punishment. 3 tiers. Tier 1, death.
That's tier 1?
Yes. It's goes down. Sorry, it goes down, and it depends on what you it depends on what you did throughout this, let's say, raid. All right. So tier 1 is death. Tier 2 is cutting your right hand and left leg. Tier 3 is let's make it simple, prison.
Wait.
Wasn't it banishment?
Yeah, banishment. Yeah.
Isn't that first for let's say terrorists or something? I know about that. I know about that.
For mercenaries.
Mercenaries.
Yes.
Not for banditry? Are you sure?
Same thing.
Because the mercenaries only like they're like armies for hire type of thing, while a bandit intentionally looks for like merchant caravans and raids them to gain money. So one is like a professional army that you can hire that also is designed to kill people and raid and pillage and do all these things as a bonus during war, while the other one is just bandits.
Yeah,
so
maybe,
are you sure you're not mixing those up?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm mixing those up. So mercenary, okay, 100% bandits are included in this, but do mercenaries make raids on people, on villages, on streets, on travel roads? Do they do that? If they do,
Europe-
they're included.
In Europe, the way they were used is basically you hire them to augment your army, and one of the bonuses is that they get to raid whatever you're attacking. So in the case you take a city, well, they're gonna have their fun there. And you know how European sieges go. Nobody's spared. You know?
Okay.
So they're under that context. Eventually, the mercenaries, like they got replaced by actual standing armies from nations. So they realized they brought the mercs in. They're like, "We'll train you professionally. We'll pay you all the time, and we're going to train you and make you proper and nice." But before that, you raise the levy, and if you need more troops, you bring the mercs in, and they're never fun.
Yeah, as Sheikh Mahmoud stated, yes, the rule would apply to them. So
Yes.
The right parts of it. Yeah.
علامة الأمة المهدي محمود.
Drinking Costa.
So again, why would the Japanese not understand this is what confuses me. Because if you're trying to make a concept, you do the proper research on it. But what's in the Japanese that makes them misinterpret this? That's the thing I don't get.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're just looking at things from their own culture, like the same for how they view samurai as honorable, and samurai are mercs. It's probably they're just viewing it from their culture, not looking at the other cultures.
Yeah, but samurai were
Comparing
horrible.
it. But they say they're honorable, so that's how they're gonna look at it.
It's, you know, it's how you can see it. You can see it from all of the anime shows and all of the, you know, even the Japanese TV shows. The Japanese cultures romanticize with the bad boys, and they take a bad boy concept.
Right.
It's a mercenary. It's whatever rebel armies, and they make them the good main cool characters. I don't know. They romanticized being bad because the only thing they got bad is 2 nukes, and that's it.
Too soon.
No, isn't the like to me one of the like hilarious analogies I got from somebody was that Japan suffers from Stockholm syndrome as a culture, where they got nuked and owned by the USA, and now they want to be them, and they want to be under their wing.
Yeah.
They went full
you
capitalist on it.
Dude, you get a vague, cool concept from the West, and you romanticize about it, and you make a story. You don't even need to research it. It's like the Vikings, the Viking concept. You know, before the anime Villain Saga, before it, all the Viking anime were poorly researched. You get a very cool concept of people, very strong fighters with horns and boats, and you make an anime about them, those being good. It's like pirate concept, the whole thing about One Piece. You get
How
a
are
very
they good if they're pirates?
yeah. The whole thing about One Piece is making pirates good, and I can go on and on. Ninjas, Naruto's, shinobis were assassins. They were not heroes whatsoever. Taking that concept and make it poorly researched, making it good, because people like it. People like those cool things, you know.
So
It's
what they
not
would do
only
is-
okay.
Yeah,
It's
go
not
ahead.
only the Japanese. It's actually also the Arabs. They romanticize the Mexican cartels of like, you know what happened with Mexico, that drug thing. They I think imprisoned the son, one of the sons of Pablo Escobar.
No, not Escobar, El Capo, I think.
El Capo, yeah. If you check Twitter and the hashtag, the Arabic hashtag for what happened,
Right.
they're praising, they're romanticizing, they're making like, I don't know, bringing the script, like this picture of the man with Arabic poems and something. This is how you defend family. They like this guy. Like,
Yeah, it's simple.
Seriously,
For Arabs,
yeah.
it's simple. For Arabs, it's simple.
but it's the same
They
concept.
like to show off.
Yeah.
And what's the cartels do?
Show
The
off.
Bambinas and the Bambunos and everything they show off. They like to show off. and Arabs dig this shit. They don't dig it. They drink it. They like it so much.
So
Sure.
okay, does it have to do with like so pirates, ninjas, and what's the name?
Vikings.
Mercenaries, Vikings,
Cartels, even also.
cartels. All of those really have one unifying theme, which is sort of anarchism. Do you think it's basically what the Japanese in that particular case is doing, is trying to like romanticize the idea of anarchism? And anarchism, of course, being a decentralized one person, controls despite the big government. I do whatever I want, and me and my inner circle supersede the rules and have our own different rules. Would it be a sort of romanticism of just the idea of the rebel, the idea of revolt and rebellion?
Of freedom,
I
the thing
actually
you
would
cannot do, the thing you cannot attain. the thing you
Yeah,
cannot
I
have.
would agree. I would agree with you on that. Yeah.
Empire.
It's not only the Japanese. It's not only the Japanese.
Yeah. But it's very prevalent in the Japanese media, and the people absorbing it is, of course, another factor to consider. The Arabs love, the Narutos and the One Pieces and all that. And if you look at all of these cultures, they're all kind of like locked into a style of life that has a lot of rules, a lot of do's and don'ts, and if you don't bow the right way, then you get fired or something. And so, would you consider it like as their form of escape, the same way like in Europe they go for superhero films, because to them the superhero is the idea of the person who's so powerful, people look up to him, and that's where the dichotomy is. Or there is a dichotomy between which culture likes which content.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's
I
what you're
would
missing.
Agree. I would agree. Yeah.
It's what you're missing. It's what you're deprived of. Freedom, a ruler, a role model, and whatever thing you're deprived of, you seek.
You're looking for what you can't have.
Bambinas,
Yeah.
cocaine. It's just simple, very simple.
Just like why weebs watch hentai all the time. So yeah.